Hello, hello, hello. Today I am here talking with Maria, and we are talking all about wellness, which this is great timing because we're heading into the holidays, we're headed into cold weather, and this is when people start to get sick. And this is also when people want to start to lose weight and they want to look good. They're heading into the new year. So, girl, perfect timing coming on today. This is going to be so much fun. For those of you that don't know me, I am Sabrina Victoria. I am the host here at Her Talk Show. If you have not already subscribed, get on that subscribe button. What are you waiting for? These podcasts are guaranteed to have you thinking differently about life. Let's jump right in.
Get ready, because today's guest is about to change the way you view your world. This is Her Talk Show, hosted by Sabrina Victoria.
Hello, if you're listening live, welcome. And if you're listening on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay wherever you're at so we can send you some love. We have had over 600 women grace this stage. We are adding another one to the list today. Maria is a unique type of leader who subtly yet powerfully influences others by modeling. She spent her earliest years working in corporate. Now she is the author of Breaking into the Light, a journey of self-discovery and transformation, which she wrote after a tragic situation that turned her life upside down. After a rediscovery that lasted years, she discovered a food methodology that works and today passionately coaches it to help others in their own transformation by sharing with them how to reset their relationship with food, yes, and thereby dramatically change their life experience. She is also a healer. So excited to hang out with you today, Maria. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Sabrina? Thank you for having me.
Yes, 100%. So before we jump into all of the goodness that you teach, I would love to know, how did you end up in this niche?
It was a very long road. I was in corporate in my 20s, and I moved to Europe for a couple of years. I came back, and I had a job, and 6 months later, I was working my career. I was doing great. I'd taken my Series 7, and I was all set to become a stockbroker. And then life thought otherwise. One day I was at my mom's house, and we had lunch. It was Sunday. People are over. It was fantastic. And then I went back home. I was living downstairs for my mom at the time. And all of a sudden, I was on the phone with somebody, and I heard a white noise. And I'm thinking, what the hell is that? And all of a sudden, I realized, oh my gosh, it's actually in my head. It's in my head. And I started saying nonsensical things like, the red ocean is underneath the kitchen floor. And after I said it, I thought, why did that just come out of my mouth? And why am I not able to say what I mean to say? And I was starting to freak out in my head. And I somehow managed to get off the phone. Suddenly I fell on my bed in the fetal position with the worst thunderclap headache in the world ever. And I thought, holy crap, I must have food poisoning, which I'd never had, so I didn't know what the experience was like, but that's what I thought. And a friend of mine was over. He came running because he heard commotion. He called my mom. She came downstairs. They called the ambulance. Everybody thought, oh man, this girl has food poisoning. But the ambulance wasn't so concerned, so they left. Meanwhile, I kept getting worse and worse. And eventually, we drove to the hospital. And after waiting for a while, I went in, took all the tests. And mind you, I was 25 years old at the time. And I took all the tests. And somebody comes back to me suddenly and says, Miss, we think you're having a stroke. And I thought, all right, so much for food poisoning. And then my second thought was, What's a stroke? The word was not even in my vocab.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah.
Sounds scary.
Very scary.
No kidding. Was who was there with you?
A friend of mine was over. My mom was living upstairs.
So did somebody go with you to
Oh, yeah, I could not drive. I had the worst vertigo. I couldn't even walk straight. It felt like the world was rolling towards me. And I had to have people on both sides to help me.
Wow. No kidding. I know that you talk often about how 80% of disease could actually be eliminated. Do you feel as if the situation that happened to you could have been eliminated?
Very likely.
Wow. Wait, tell us about that.
A lot of the diseases now, they didn't exist years ago, 100 years ago. And a lot of the foods that exist today, or rather non-foods, because I don't see them as food, they didn't exist either. So if humans ate what we were designed to eat, we would not be in this health crisis because we're in a health crisis.
100%. What are some things that you could have done or that you would recommend people to do in order to start walking a healthier lifestyle?
The number one thing I always recommend is hydration, hydration, hydration. I definitely was not drinking enough, and that's
Wow.
huge. We don't realize just how dehydrated we are.
Mhm. What else?
There are certain things that it would be best if you maybe not eliminate if you can't, but sugar. Sugar is, and what can I say about that? It's more addictive than cocaine. And food is either a slow poison
Mhm.
or a fast medicine, and we don't see right away the effects on our bodies because it's all cumulative.
Okay, wait, what did you say? You said a fast poison or a slow medicine.
The
I
other,
love that. Wait, break that down for us. That's brilliant.
so the saying is, food can either be a slow poison
Oh,
because that's how it acts in our bodies, or a really fast medicine. And I've had that experience over and over again with clients who come to me. For example, I have an 86-year-old woman. She was injecting insulin for 10 years. And after 8 weeks, she stopped injecting insulin.
really? Wait, after 10 weeks?
Yeah, even less, I think. I think it was something like 8.
What were the main things she changed? Like sugar or
And that was one of them. But there are many things that can be considered sugar because they turn into sugar in your body.
like what?
A lot of your cereals, well, all of your cereals
So I eat cereal that changes into sugar.
in your body.
What about the sugary cereals? All cereals, even the non-sugary cereals?
Yeah, and that's a very processed food. It's a highly processed food.
Wow,
And
so even the ones that are marketed as, like, fairly healthy are also not really all that good for you, like, at all?
they're not.
Wow. So
Many,
interesting.
many things that are marketed as health foods, they're not even food.
Yeah, I remember when I had the epiphany with fig Newtons. I always ate fig Newtons because I thought they were so healthy. And then like 10 years ago, I actually looked at the ingredients and it's like a candy bar. Then I switched to Nutri-Grain because it's that is actually marketed as a healthy food, sort of. And then a couple years into that, I actually looked at the ingredients and that's like a candy bar.
Scary, isn't it?
Wow, 100%. So what do you eat for breakfast?
I like eggs and bacon and protein, maybe a green shake.
Okay. So eggs and bacon or a green smoothie
Green,
of some sort. What do you put in your green smoothie?
a lot of veggies, sometimes fruit, sometimes not. Usually celery, some leafy greens, spinach or kale or something similar. Avocado, that's a must.
Very cool. So can you give us like your favorite go-to green smoothie? Like what's your favorite?
My favorite is celery, avocado, arugula, jalapeno, and a whole load of cilantro.
Wow, that sounds like you're eating a salad.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Is it a little spicy with the jalapeno in it?
Yeah, I don't put a whole one, I put a quarter one. And yeah, to give it that little kick that I enjoy. But
Yeah.
you can basically make the smoothie however you like it. As long as it's green, it's perfect.
Yeah. Dane is asking, do the pharmaceutical companies own the food companies?
I do not know if they own them, but what I will say is that they are in bed together. They are in bed together.
So they flush money back and forth.
I don't know if it's the flush money, but it's something that's more like this. Healthy people are not profitable. So the food industry, they sell you something that's not food to make you sick. So that then you go to pharma and then you're in a hamster wheel.
Got it. Healthy people, you can't make a profit off of healthy people. The insurance companies make a profit off of healthy people, though.
Yeah.
Because we all have health insurance, and then the healthy people never use it. So we're just giving them
I don't
money.
know how much money they make off healthy people because they have to pay so much out in other claims.
Yeah. So we're basically paying for all of those people. That's actually interesting. That's an incentive for us healthy people to be talking about it as much as possible.
I
Yeah,
agree.
because we're paying for everybody else. That's interesting. Um, so what else? What else are you telling your clients? What's the three main things?
I would say the three main things are hydration. Also, deep breathing is very good because that should be number one, actually, because without breathing, you can live maybe a minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, tops. So you want to do some deep breathing, hydration, and stay away from sugar as much as possible.
What about salt?
That's an interesting question. I put salt in my water, but I don't use the regular salt. I use Himalayan salt. The regular salt is processed and they add iodine. It's got some chemicals that are not great for the human body. However, Himalayan salt, it's got over 80 minerals and it doesn't increase blood pressure.
Where's Himalayan salt from? Is it from the Himalayas?
That's what they say. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. So adding salt, regular table salt, is that not good?
I do it once in a blue moon when I go out, and if I want the salt, I'll use it because we do need iodine. But I don't buy regular table salt to use at home.
Okay. And then do you recommend some sort, is everything you do food based, or is there some sort of exercise or movement that is needed?
Everything is pretty much food based. What I will say is that all the time we get to weeks 7, 8, or 9, and people say, Maria, what can I do? I have all this energy. And they naturally want to do things
That's nice. How do they get all this new energy?
through the program.
So by hydrating, breathing, eating less sugar, and then taking on some of the recipes that you provide.
Yeah, and it gets a little more involved than that. But basically, 1 week builds on the other. And then by the time you get into the fat burning phase, then you feel so energetic.
How does somebody fall into the fat burning stage?
That's by eliminating, telling your body winter's not coming, so that your body, and the way you do that is by not having sugars, and by reducing your carbs to specific amounts. And also, people would say it's similar to keto, but I think it's different because this is more of the way our ancestors ate. But our pancreas has a couple of different functions. It can burn fat, it can burn carbs, or it can burn protein. So you want to keep it doing those different functions throughout your life. Otherwise, you get imbalances like diabetes.
Totally makes sense. Definitely. What's your thoughts on the Mediterranean diet?
I think it's a pretty good diet. I think there are some things that aren't that great, and I do some things differently. But overall, I would say it's one of the better ones.
Nice. Meats. What are the meats that you recommend most?
If you can get it, get wild meat. Anything, deer meat, wild boar, whatever. The next best thing is grass fed, grass finished. And that could be anything. That could be beef, lamb, pasture raised chicken.
How does somebody start to reset? Is somebody supposed to just change overnight? Is this a gradual? Is this a one by one? How do you recommend your clients to do this?
The way I do it is we move as a group in the 3 months. Everybody moves together. And week by week, we incorporate different things, add some stuff in, remove some stuff, and it's all very gradual.
So it's gradual.
Yeah.
Versus just throwing somebody into the deep end. Because a lot of times that's how people fail, no?
Yeah, of course. That's how people fail. And people actually fail because they don't shift their mindset, and they don't learn about food psychology. And that's what we do at the very beginning. It's very important. If you don't understand why you're eating the things you're eating and you just make changes, you're using willpower. And our motto is you do not require willpower because willpower can only get you so far. It's a good muscle, but it's only for a short time.
Yeah, Definitely agree with that. I know that you talk about being a healer. What does that mean?
Yes, I was in India for a month and they taught us some healing arts, and that's independent of the nutrition program. It's just something I like doing.
How do you do that?
It's similar to Reiki.
Okay. Very cool. So somebody can come to you for what?
I like to help people that have pain because that's the most obvious change. If they don't have pain, it's hard to gauge the progress.
So if somebody's having pain in their right hip, they can come to you and there's methodologies that you can use to heal them.
Yeah. And oftentimes it works online.
Virtually. So they can talk to you just like this.
Yeah, because it's a type of energy healing, and energy can be transferred.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, this has been absolutely fantastic. I so appreciate you being here. Where can people find you?
They can find me on my website, genuinelymaria.com.
Awesome. And what about social media?
I'm also on Facebook, but I have to admit that I'm not on social media all that much. And I'm also on LinkedIn, but I'm not very active.
Okay. So Facebook, people can find you and follow you?
Yes.
Okay. Where can people learn more about you then? At your website?
Yeah, go to my website if you'd like. We can talk a free discovery call. See what your situation is.
Awesome. I love that. Any classes, any events, any anything you have coming up where people can see you live?
I've been doing a lot of podcasting recently. There's nothing coming up. I did do a podcast this week, a different one, but that was pre-recorded, so it'll be airing soon, and I'll be posting it on my social media.
Fantastic. I love that. What's the number one takeaway that you are hoping our audience can do?
The biggest thing that will have the biggest impact is hydration, hydration, hydration. And I know it's something we always say, oh, drink 8 glasses of water. And at first, that was a very big challenge for me. I thought, I'm not drinking 8 glasses. I'm not thirsty. But it does make such a difference. It really does.
Awesome. How does it make a difference?
When I first did it, I had so much more energy by the 3rd day. I was waking up clearer, easier.
Beautiful. I love that. Well, this has been absolutely fantastic. For those of you listening live or on the replay that are resonating with Maria, make sure you check out her website. And she does hang out a little bit on Facebook if you want to follow her. Any last thoughts, Maria, as we close up?
Yes. We can thrive. We're barely surviving. Let's all thrive.
How can we do that?
By eating more of the food that was intended for humans.
Beautiful. All right. Well, to those of you that resonate with Maria, make sure you check her out on her website and social media. That brings us to an end of another incredible episode of her talk show. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and inspiring us all. To our dedicated listeners, thank you for staying with us until the very end. Remember to follow, like, and share. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria. I encourage you to join our community, Her Nation, where we continue to lift each other up every single day by having conversations just like this.